Championship against Aberdeen '87. Then we had one home game against St Mirren, our last game of the season. And
there's always one, isn't there? There's always one.
And then we just came out and just enjoyed it, and it was a great feeling. Once you go into that arena and the crowd are with you and everything else, you know, you'll be determined. I mean, the Rangers players will be determined to put on a good show for their supporters who have been there all the season, who've been through thick and thin, ups and downs all this season, all the pressures that you've had, all the worries, AK Athens and losing to Falkirk and losing obviously to Hearts in the cup competitions, all those problems are now off your shoulders. You can just really just get out there and play in a relaxed mood.
You had your disagreements with Souness towards the end of your time at Ibrox. Would you have wanted to stay a bit longer there, Terry?
I think every player wants to stay a bit longer. That's why Brian Laudrup wants to stay longer. He loves living in Helensburgh. He loves the club. He loves the people. He loves Scotland. And you find a lot of the English players that did come up, a lot of the foreign players that come to Ibrox want to stay there, and they want to stay in Scotland because it's a great place. It sounds patronising, but it is a great place to play your football and to live.
Rangers supporters, quite literally, in seventh heaven this afternoon, Joe.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you just have to look at the pictures to see the fun that they're having already, and it's just a big party. It's going to be a good day, even if they lose the game, which I don't think they will, but even if they did lose the game, these Rangers supporters are there to enjoy themselves today.
Yeah, and you know, Joe, when Souness disappeared from Ibrox, everybody thought, well, will that be the end of the big-name signings? It's been completely the reverse. Walter's done magnificently in the transfer market.
Yeah, he's done a great job, and I think really you've got to hand it to David Murray. I mean, he's transformed Scottish football completely coming in. He really got Rangers for a snip when he bought Rangers over, and he's built it into a great business, but he's also, you know, he's not just there for the business side of it, he's there to create a great team that's hopeful, or as far as they're concerned, are going to beat the Celtic record of 9 in a row. So, I mean, he's done a magnificent job.
And you know, Terry, he tells the fans everything too, Murray, doesn't he?
He does. He's very open with the fans, but you've still got to buy the right players. You've still got, I mean, you can go out and you can get your Blomqvists and you can get your Bergkamps, and you know, as one of the callers said before, they might not do well in Scottish football, but you've got to do your homework and you've got to say, well, these players are good players, but they've got the right character, like Brian Laudrup, to easily slot into the Scottish way of life.
Yes, indeed. OK, well, enough from us. Let's now go live to Ibrox and join commentator Jerry McNee.
Ibrox Stadium on Easter Sunday is packed to capacity and has a real carnival atmosphere. And Rangers come out to a tremendous ovation. They continue to set a Scottish record of Premier Division titles, 7 in a row, 8 in 9 years, and the 10th overall since the Premier Division was formed 20 years ago. Celtic have won 6 of those championships, Aberdeen 3 and Dundee United 1. So the fans in tremendous form as they salute their players. And of course, let's not forget what an important afternoon this is for Hibernian, because victory would put them in second place with a game in hand and favourites for the remaining UEFA Cup place. But Rangers will want to finish the season in some style. When they went to Easter Road and clinched the championship last time around, they actually failed to win in the final 5 league matches of the season. I know Richard Gough and the players are well wound up, and let's have a look at the Rangers lineup. And Gordon Durie coming back into the frame this afternoon alongside Mark Hateley. And it'll be interesting, Gordon Smith, to see how the lineup at the back. Walter Smith had to change things round a bit last week against Aberdeen.
Yeah, there are a few options there, Jerry. It looks like it might start with Cleland in the right back position and John Brown at left back, with Gough and McClan through the middle. Most people feel that this is the best partnership, having McClan in the middle with Gough, but Brown is more comfortable in there, not always at his best in the left back position, especially nowadays when he comes up against some real pacey players. And if Hibs play Gareth Evans out in that wide area, they could get problems.
And let's now have a look at the Hibernian lineup. And you just mentioned, Gordon, the pace of Gareth Evans could be a factor. And of course, David Farrell back in midfield. His battling qualities were missed in that semi-final replay against Celtic.
Yeah, I think so. Alec Miller really took a bit of a gamble by playing a very attacking lineup on Tuesday night against Celtic, but he's brought Farrell back in today, had a bit of dig in there. Be interesting to see whether he plays Dan Jackson right up front or he uses him in the midfield role he's been playing in. If he doesn't play him up front, he'll play Evans up alongside right, I would imagine, and Dan Jackson in midfield. But a funny feeling he may just go a 4-4-2 with Evans and O'Neill in the wide areas.
Well, I remember going down to Old Trafford 2 years ago this very weekend in similar circumstances. Aston Villa had lost the previous day. And Manchester United played Blackburn that night. Well, it's that kind of atmosphere. The referee there, Billy Young from Claxton. His linesman today, Graham Allison from Dumfries, and Harry Brodie from Linlithgow. So away we go, amid absolute bedlam here at Ibrox. And I spoke to Alec Miller, the Hibernian manager, just before kick-off, and he's certainly got his players wound up. They know this is very important for them. They've actually got the best goal difference of the sides that are chasing the remaining UEFA Cup place. Hibs have put a lot into their season, but like Celtic, they've had far too many draws. That's been the problem. They've had 16 so far. But this lies within their own hands now. If they can win the remaining matches, they get that place. But Rangers will really want to turn on a show for their supporters. And this is Cleland. It's missed by Durant and picked up now by Willie Miller. Well, flipping it infield to Darren Jackson. It's laid off to McGinley. Across now to Graham Mitchell. Through for Wright, but he's well shut down there by McLaren. This is Charlie Miller getting it away. Well, Walter Smith has opted for the same back four which finished the game against Aberdeen last week. McLaren, who's just receiving the ball now in the right back row, and Brown and Goff in the centre back area, with Cleland on the left hand side. And that certainly settled in the second half after Basil Bolly had to go off with a shoulder injury last week. This is Darren Jackson now for Hibernian. To Gareth Evans. Lloydrup goes back to challenge him. Played through by Cleland, picked up now by Trevor Steven. Hateley starts a run. The offside flag goes up on the far side against the Rangers striker. Mark Hateley, who has 15 goals to his credit this season, scored that very important one against the Dons last week. That's a fair strike rate, despite the injury problems he's had this season. That's played through by Farrell. Now it's Darren Jackson. Farrell again. Billy Thompson ran from his line, checked his stride there as McLaren played it back to him. Now it's Gordon Jury for Rangers. Across to Cleland. Durant goes down by Miller. And laid back by Richard Goff. Good long kick by Billy Thompson. Returned by Miller. Carefully watched by Goff. Now it's Brown. Infield to Trevor Steven, who's in excellent form at the moment. He's been winning a lot of praise from his manager Walter Smith. Meanwhile, Cleland starts a break on the left-hand side. It's played short to Brown now. Now it's Durant, who stumbles again. It's the second time in these opening minutes. Pat McGinley now racing forward. Richard Goff looking very determined indeed. Goes across and concedes the throw-in. Just in the line with the Rangers penalty area. So the match off at a fair pace. This is right, but that's a good challenge by McLaren. Now it's Steven. Lloydrup switch over to the right. He tries to pick him out. He's showing tremendous pace here, but Graham Mitchell did just enough to get the ball to his goalkeeper. Good defending that by Mitchell. Long one from him, looking for Gareth Evans. It's headed down by Goff. This is McLaren. Durant. Out to Lloydrup. Shot to Trevor Steven. Rangers showing patience in the build-up here. Hibs have got everyone behind the ball. This is Lloydrup, and he's free roll, moving all over the pitch. Steven is well challenged by McGinley. This is Farrell looking for Jackson. He holds off the challenge of Miller. Now it's Evans. This is Wright. Evans again. Goes down by Durant. Evans does well though. Brown challenges. And that brings applause from the home fans. It's played out now to Jury. Breaks on here, but Hibs are getting players back. Hateley's racing through the middle. Lloydrup's here in support just behind Jury. Well, mix up there. It breaks to Lloydrup. He tries to find a way through. McGinley's there. He's almost caught though by Trevor Steven. Hibs get it away. An anxious moment there as Stephen Tweed got himself into a bit of a tangle as Hateley challenged. This is Miller. Jackson. White. Jackson again. Michael O'Neill's away on the far side. This is O'Neill. He's closed down by Jury. Laid off to McGinley. Goes it wide now to Mitchell. So 5 minutes gone here at Ibrox Stadium. Still no scoring in this match, but both sides fully committed to attack.
Yeah, it's amazing how little the ball's been out to play, Jerry. It's an intriguing match because, I mean, Rangers, the foot is off the accelerator in a way. They have the points in the bag for the league title, and they're trying to put on a show today, but Hibs have everything to play for. They've got to go out here and try and get some points, so you just wonder if Rangers might be in this sort of mode where they overdo it a bit at times going forward.
So it's played now to Willie Miller. Runs away from Evans for the throw to Rangers. Gareth Evans is certainly a player that will have to be carefully watched this afternoon. 200 league appearances he's made now for Hibs, former Rotherham player with a spell at Coventry. Here he is again. Puts Farrell under pressure there, but Andy Milne gets it away. This is McLaren for Rangers. Turned by Tweed. McLaren again. Jury. Mitchell watches them carefully. Jury's got a lot to do here. And it's given away to Charlie Miller by Mitchell. Now it's Trevor Stephen trying the low drive, but watched all the way and carefully gathered by Jim Leighton in the Hibernian goal. Well, Jim Leighton making his 39th appearance of the season today, ever present in this Hibernian side. As he hits the long kick forward, the flag is up just in front of us. It's a free kick to Rangers.
I think it looks the way the Hibs are playing a very direct style, trying to get the ball forward. We've got a lot of pace, Jerry, through the middle. Dan Jackson and Wright like to play on the edge of defences just to get in behind them. I don't think Evans is as comfortable though playing wide as he is through the middle, and I think he's always been at his best when he's up alongside the likes of Wright.
Well, Hibs away performances this season have been extremely poor in terms of results. If they had done better, they'd have put themselves in a really challenging position. But UEFA Cup place would be a fine prize. But it's Rangers on the attack. It's you-know-who. Loudrup twisting and turning, going for the line and winning the corner kick. Challenged there by Willie Miller. And Hibs will try and put two defenders, I would suspect, on Brian Loudrup as much as possible, to try and cut down these mazy runs of his. Meanwhile, Richard Gough moves forward into the area. Hateley starts in the run as well. Well, that looked like handball against Farrell there, but the referee was right in line with it and waved away the protest. Archie Knox below us is not a happy man. But certainly Farrell appeared to use an arm as he attempted the clearance, but the referee was well positioned. And Will Young shook his head. Wave play on. It's Durant for Rangers. Good pass out to Loudrup. He hit that one early, hoping that Brown or Cleland would run onto it, but behind it goes for the goal kick. Well, what a season this man's had. He's really lit up Ibrox Stadium. 13 goals he's managed to score as well. This is Andy Milne, who came so close to joining Celtic. But when he left Kilmarnock, it was Hibernian he moved to. This is the former Hearts player, Alan McLaren, all set to pick up his first championship medal. Trevor Stephen to Durant. Welland runs in support. Takes defenders with him. It's played him towards Hateley, but Leighton read that situation well.
That's good goalkeeping, Jerry. Jim Leighton there, very quick to spot the danger. Hateley making the run in behind, and it's a good ball if Jim Leighton doesn't come, but coming there just to take the pressure right off his defence is what you expect from the likes of Leighton.
So it's Richard Gough with Keith Wright. Gough getting the touch. It's Trevor Stephen back doing some defending. McLaren provides a pass back, and another good long clearance by Billy Thompson. Hateley gets the touch. This is Willie Miller. Looking for Darren Jackson. Goff's there though. Miller holds off the challenge of Farrell. Hibs have it again. Kinley plays it through. But, Thompson spots the danger early. Well, it's a challenge going in from Keith Wright. And the referee has a word with the Hibs striker.
He's robust. I mean, Keith Wright, he goes for these balls, doesn't hold back. I mean, that's what you'd expect from your centre forward, but you know, he's protecting himself as well, the way Billy Thompson's going into it, and there's not much in that really.
And the referee did attempt to let play continue there. He didn't give a free kick, in fact, but he felt obliged to have a word then with the Hibs striker. This is Tweed playing the long ball through. It's a good one for Darren Jackson. McLaren's there, so too is Goff. Then comes Gareth Evans, and it's clipped away by Cleland. Headed down by Laudrup to Charlie Miller. Solid challenge, though, going in from David Farrell. And the referee steps in and awards the free kick. Hibernian's way. So Farrell's battling qualities, as we mentioned just before kick-off, very important to Hibs this afternoon. Here he is again in the thick of the action. This is Darren Jackson. Away by Brown. Paisley getting it down, looking for Jury, but Miller's there. Well, this all-ticket match sold out days ago, but Hibs then returned around 600 tickets. Couldn't quite get rid of their allocation, so as you can imagine, it was just about wall-to-wall Rangers fans here this afternoon, celebrating this 7th consecutive title, and hoping that they do it with a few goals. So Evans leaving the ball to Billy Miller, who in turn drops it back to Andy Milne. This is Tweed. Long one now for Jackson. Goff's there though. Takes it down comfortably. Well, Richard Goff has won his 7th medal in 8 years here at Ibrox, which is a remarkable record. And that's Ian Durant taken out of the play by Gareth Evans. The free kick goes Rangers' way.
Yeah, it's just a bit clumsy there. I mean, he thinks he can win it. Durant's very sharp in those situations, going across the player, and you know, he's got an option to either let him go or bring him down, and Gareth Evans chose to bring him down.
This is Charlie Miller trying to knock the ball inside Michael O'Neill. Good intention, but O'Neill reacted well and prevented McLaren getting to it, and he clears well also. And this is Graham Mitchell now, as Hibs attempt to counter-attack. It's White. This is Jackson. Miller. Evans darts away on the right-hand side. This is Evans. And to take on Cleland. Good challenge by him. The ball's still in play as it's picked up by Durant. This is McLaren. Stephen. Under pressure from Darren Jackson. It's almost given away, but picked up by Laudrup. It's Brown. Slack with that one. Same towards Hayfley. Durant runs and supports, but that's a good header from Andy Milne.
Rangers have to really build from the back and go through midfield, Jerry, because you know they leave Haitley a lot exposed in this type of system, whereby you know if they play anything long, he's left on his own, and he's always been at his best when you knock it long, when McCoy's round about him, because they've got a great understanding. But really looking for people there with little flick-ons, and you know because they've all gone back looking for the ball in midfield, it's pointless really in playing the long ball.
Gordon Jury operating in the right area of midfield at the moment. Laudrup's trying to give Haitley as much support as possible. It's played in by Mitchell. It's Trevor Stephen back in his own penalty area who gets the touch. Now it's Durant. Cleland. This is Durant again. Running into difficulties. Now it's McGinley for Hibs. O'Neill. Jackson. It's Cut out though by McLaren. This is Laudrup. McLaren takes it away again. Miller. Jury's running with him now. Jury's switching over to the left-hand side. Good play by Miller. And that will be a booking for Farrell. He took the Rangers player right out of the game, just yards outside the penalty area. He stepped away there from Milne, but clearly fouled by Farrell, who was immediately called over by the referee.
A little bit harsh, I think. Not a lot of intent in it. He was trying to pull himself out of the way. He did make contact, and I think anyone could see it was a foul, but I don't think David Farrell meant to injure that Charlie Miller or even bring him down at all.
So a chance for Rangers now. Jim Leighton shouts instructions to his defenders. So it's 15 and a half minutes played, still no scoring, but a real chance here for Rangers. And there are several players there who can strike them. Well, McLaren scored a quite spectacular goal at Tannadice a few weeks ago. Archie Knox has been telling him to have a blast more often. He certainly hits it well, but Laudrup's lurking also. Hateley's there too. It's Hateley who strikes it. And it's comfortably gathered in the end by Jim Leighton.
Yeah, it was three players all round about it there. Laudrup making the run, but it was too central really in the end. Not enough pace on it to give Jim Leighton any trouble.
This is Andy Milne for Hibs. Looking for right. Challenged by Brown though. Played off by Miller. Stephen. Goff. Now it's McLaren. He plays in there, but Andy Milne stuck to the task. Now it's McGinley. In comes Goff. Positive header. It's laid off by Laudrup to Hateley. That's a great ball from Hateley. And again, Jim Leighton reacts very quickly indeed, and he had to with Laudrup racing through the middle. Good goalkeeping again by Leighton. It's laid off by Farrell. This is Tweed. Milne. Tweed again. It's laid off by McGinley. Hibs now content to knock it about. Go through towards Jackson, but Goff's there. Nicely touched on there by Trevor Stephen. This is Durant. Cleland starts a run. Laudrup goes in to support him. Back through now for Cleland. Well, the referee says no. And it's Hibs now, pushing forward through McGinley. This is Farrell, looking for O'Neill. Good challenge though by McLaren. And across comes Graham Mitchell. Good play by him. This is O'Neill. Getting away from Jury. Still it's O'Neill. Challenge there, just on the edge of the box by Charlie Miller. And the referee again well up with the play, allowing it to flow as much as possible. Still it's Miller.
He had a bit of space there, Jerry. I think Michael O'Neill should have thrown that ball in the box. All his forwards were in there waiting for it. He had the time and space to do it, and he let them down.
Perhaps he heard the praise he got from Laudrup the other day. And here is Laudrup. Good ball by him to Trevor Stephen. Hateley. Still Rangers have it through McLaren. Again, Hibs getting everyone behind the ball. This is Durant. Charlie Miller. Hateley. Jury. Rangers stringing the passes together. This is Durant providing the cross. It's easily headed away though by Willie Miller. It's Darren Jackson. And a bit of misjudgment there by Alan McLaren. But he recovers well. McLaren again. Laudrup. Back to Goff. McLaren plays it through looking for Hateley. And Hateley has an awful lot to do. Keeps possession well though. This is Miller. Taking a return from Trevor Stephen. He's just a little bit short with that one, Miller, but got away with it. Now it's Goff. It's McGinley playing it through now. Here's Evans with a chance to show his pace. Cleland's going with him. He hits the early ball. It's cut out though by Trevor Stephen, who's getting through a power of work, showing a real appetite for the game in recent weeks. This is Miller. Durant. That's Brown. Cleland. Laudrup. Miller's with him, Willie Miller. It's played though to Charlie Miller now for Rangers. Tries to find Jury. It's cut out though by Farrell. Now it's Mitchell. McGinley. It's a slack one picked up by Charlie Miller. Out to Laudrup. Hateley's in the middle. Miller's calling for the short pass. That's where it's played, just inside the penalty area. And Miller tries to make the cross, but has to settle for the corner kick as the challenge is made by Pat McGinley.
Good challenge. Hibs are having to work very hard in that midfield area at the moment. Rangers are knocking the ball about, making them get back, making the challenges, and it's a difficult game. Rangers are certainly playing it like a pre-season friendly.
So still no scoring. This is Goff. Laudrup. Trevor Stephen runs ahead of him. Across comes McGinley though, and the ball drifts behind for the goal kick. So 21 and a half minutes gone. Still no scoring. Now this match going out live this afternoon, not just all over Scotland, but also to Canada and other parts of North America. And the Rangers Supporters Association of North America all tuned in. The Toronto #1 club there as well, and Bob Riley, I'm told, the Rangers commercial manager, will have a surprise for those supporters at half-time, hopefully. So I hope they're enjoying the game as we are. This is Tweed. Out to Milne. This is Willie Miller. It's headed on by Wright, and it's Richard Goff who mops up. Well, this is Hibs' 4th visit here this season, and they're still to record a victory. Of course, they had 2 disappointing Scottish Cup semi-final ties here against Celtic, but they never really did themselves justice. This is Brown playing the long one through. It's easily taken down now by Andy Milne. This is Miller. Cut out by John Brown. Charlie Miller leads it to Trevor Stephen. Plays it through now for Laudrup. Showing tremendous pace, getting in behind Graham Mitchell. Great play by Laudrup. Still it's Laudrup trying to force his way through, and it's Pat McGinley who hoists the ball high away from the danger area. Great close control there by Laudrup. Well, of course, with Real Madrid close to the title in Spain, it could be Laudrup versus Laudrup in the Champions League next season. Here comes Charlie Miller with a good run. He was blocked here at the last moment by Andy Milne. It's Laudrup again trying to find a way through. McGinley battles hard. It's Willie Miller who clears. The offside flag has gone up. It's been spotted now by the referee. So the free kick quickly taken. This is Jury. Stephen. Jury again. Hoisting in the cross, looking for the head of Hateley. And Hibs scramble it clear, and they concede the corner kick. Well, again, Hateley got his head to that ball, but there was no one really to cash in. The corner's quickly taken. It's with Laudrup. And Rangers took the lead through Gordon Jury. A simple goal in the end. Gordon Jury gets his 6th goal of the season. That was all very simple. Laudrup swung in the ball. Hateley went for it, got the nearest touch, and there was Dury to send it high past Jim Leighton. It's Rangers 1, Hibernian 0.
It was a terrific ball in by Laudrup, but Alec Millen will be wondering about his defenders there. He's got 5 or 6 players all in that area at the back post. Not one of them moved there as Dury steps onto the ball and puts it away. Probably Graham Mitchell's the man. He's had a good game so far in the first half. He's probably the player who's a step forward and cleared that, but everyone taken by surprise. And Rangers in front now. It's going to be a hard up-road battle for Hibs because they're playing so relaxed at the moment, Rangers.
And the offside flag is up against Darren Jackson. So that's got the crowd of around 45,000 and full voice. This is only Rangers' 18th appearance of the season at Ibrox. Of course, they went out of the cup competitions early, so it's been an underused stadium. But the crowd has never dipped below 40,000. And the highest attendance here was for the match against Celtic, as you would imagine, 45,794.
It must be terrific as well, Jerry, to be able to come here and play in front of your home support, not even requiring to get the points. You can make it a gala day, and playing a relaxed style. Obviously, it's helping Rangers at the moment. They're trying to knock the ball about, but Hibs really need to step it up. They're not doing enough for a team, basically, who are desperate still for the points, and they've still got something to play for this season.
So Hibs, as I said, with a poor away record, they managed to beat Hearts at Tynecastle. That was away last August. And they've scored just 8 goals away from Easter Road. They've had 11 away draws. 7 of those have been 0-0. So Alec Miller knows the problems that have to be solved if there's going to be a more meaningful challenge from his side in the years ahead. I mentioned there that Rangers have played just 18 competitive games here this season. Celtic have actually played 6. It's quite a remarkable statistic for those who talk about ground sharing. But that's never a possibility in this unique city. This is Willie Miller for Hibernian. It's laid off by Jackson. Now it's Evans. Farrell. The offside flag is up though. Pat McGinley looking none too pleased. It's a bit of a blustery wind getting up now, which will make things a bit more difficult for the players after the splendid weather we've had in recent days. This is Dury laying it off to Laudrup. Back through for Dury, that's good play. Stephen Tweed reacts well. Mitchell. It's Laudrup who emerges with possession. Goes it through to McLaren, who's well forward. Still it's McLaren. Leighton gets a hand to the ball. Good save by the goalkeeper. Laudrup playing it through to McLaren. McLaren getting the shot on target, and Leighton responded. But here come Hibs now. It's Darren Jackson on the break. Keith Wright's in the middle. But John Brown makes a good solid challenge. Oh, what a chance that was for McLaren. It was played through by Laudrup. He got the break of the ball there against Mitchell and drove it hard towards goal. Leighton stood his ground. Managed to push it to safety. This is Goff now breaking out of defence, showing good close control into Hateley. Goff still keeping his run going. That looked like handball there against Andy Milne, but the referee waves play on. Goff goes in again to win it back. This is Trevor Stephen. Now it's Durant. Good crossfield pass to Gordon Dury. Dury's looking very much in the mood this afternoon. Played by Durant now. This is Cleland. Into Trevor Stephen. Oh, just a bit slack with that one. That could allow Hibs back into the game. It's O'Neill who plays it there to McGinley. Jackson's running through the middle. The offside flag is up though. It's a close call on the Hibernian player. It's a slight pass by Rangers at beginning and all, but the flag going up there from the main stand linesman, Graham Allison, and Darren Jackson just offside. I think that shot showed that the linesman got it absolutely right. Rangers now making a change. Neil Murray is the man coming on. John Brown has obviously taken a knock, so he's getting a huge ovation. He's a great favourite here at Ibrox. So John Brown leaves the field to tremendous applause, and on comes Neil Murray, who scored one of the goals in the match against Aberdeen here last Saturday. So again, Rangers having to reorganise. It really has been part and parcel of the season. So Murray has gone out to the right back area, and McLaren has now moved in alongside Richard Goff. So yet another defensive change that forced on Rangers, but they're in the driving seat. They're leading by a goal to nil, and what they're hoping will be a championship party. Now this is Trevor Stephen, Durant, back to McLaren, Trevor Stephen, this is Goff. A touch now for the Rangers substitute, Neil Murray. This is Laudrup. It's given away though. It's Mitchell who gets it clear, but only as far as Durant. Durant playing it through, trying to pick out Charlie Miller. Leighton is there again. Ian Durant will be enjoying himself this afternoon as well. Another great favourite. He's been 11 years here now. 11 years this July since he signed from Glasgow United. Meanwhile, Pat McGinley has taken a knock and will require some treatment.
He's such a good player, Ian Durant, as well. Very comfortable on the ball. And at this stage of the season, it's suiting him fine, because the field at the moment is in really good condition. He's a top of the ground player. He can get on the ball along with the likes of Stephen in there, Laudrup, little Charlie Miller's making terrific runs forward for them, and you know, they're all willing to get on the ball and make these passes, and they become very, very difficult to pick up. There's a lot of interchanging of positions in the midfield as well, with Miller also getting up to support as often as he can Hateley, and we saw even Alan McLaren getting up just before that, and a terrific save from Jim Leighton when McLaren was through, and great reactions from him. But it's a very, very fluent organisation that Rangers have now. Only really Mark Hateley is up through the middle, and everyone else is moving about.
So happily for Hibernian, Pat McGinley is back on his feet. But you can see there's a real carnival atmosphere among these Rangers fans. Well, the sun's starting to push its way through now. Well, it's Goff providing the header, which allows his goalkeeper to pick up the ball. Billy Thompson playing just his third game, his second game here at Ibrox for Rangers. Andy Gorham is hoping, he was saying before kick-off, to be back in a fortnight. Another boost for Rangers. And here's Laudrup, twisting and turning. Oh, he's left Mitchell for dead there. He provides a cross, it's Hateley. Well, that was a magnificent piece of skill again by Brian Laudrup. He showed the ball to Graham Mitchell, moved away from him, and then provided the cross for Hateley.
Terrific balance from Laudrup there. I mean, so a tremendous dummy. I mean, Graham Mitchell was right out of the picture with that dummy there, and just knocks a great ball to the back post. Mark Hateley couldn't get over the top of it and knock it down towards goal, but you know, the skill of Laudrup was something to behold at times.
Here come Rangers again. It's Miller. He loses out though to Michael O'Neill. And Stephen Tweed found himself under just a bit of pressure there from Charlie Miller. He did the wise thing, knocked the ball out of play. So it's a throw into Rangers, just in the line with the Hibernian penalty area. So just coming up for the 34-minute mark. Rangers leading by 1-0. Gordon Jury the scorer. A little touch there by Hateley, but it's picked up now by Willie Miller. Played off by White. This is McGinley trying to get forward. McLaren's with him, so too is Cleland. Now it's Trevor Stephen. Through to Durant. Across to Jury. This is Murray. Laudrup. Headed away by Mitchell. Picked up by O'Neill. I haven't seen too much of O'Neill in this game so far. He's a player that the Hibs fans and Miller would be looking to this afternoon. He did have a very good run and Gordon made the point at the time he should have provided the cross. He tried to beat one more player. Hibs will be hoping to get him more and more into the game. So just under 10 minutes of this first half left here at Ibrox Stadium. Rangers the champions won, Hibernian chasing their last UEFA Cup place, 0. This is Goff. A good long kick from Billy Thompson. Hitley climbs for it, gets the touch. It's away by Mitchell. Picked up now by Neil Murray. This is Laudrup. Miller. Durant. Through for Laudrup again, just on the edge of the penalty area, whips in the cross, and it's Farrell who leaps into the air to head behind for the corner kick.
Farrell's doing a lot of good work in the Hibs midfield there, and they get right back in beside his defence there just to knock that away. Laudrup looking dangerous again. As soon as he picks the ball up in the box, he's always going to turn defenders in there.
So it's Durant with the corner. Goff has moved forward. So the ball had drifted out of play, I think. The referee's sitting unhappy about something. I think it's to be perhaps taken again.
Probably the ball wasn't actually in the area, Jerry. That's normally what most players do. They sit it outside the little D there, or whatever it is, and then
just outside the arc. Quite frankly, I believe that it should be a free kick to the opposition when that happens, because players know the score in that, and it would cut that kind of thing out. The ball should go the other way, but Rangers have it. This is Durant floating the high one in. Leighton in two minds there. It's Cleland off the base of the post. Well, Cleland coming so close to his first goal for Rangers. This is Murray. Well, for once there, Jim Leighton hesitated. Came for the ball, returned to his line, and Cleland slammed it against the base of the post. That's a free kick against Miller for having a tug there at the jersey of Trevor Stephen. It's played through now to Hitley. It's Keith Wright back in his own penalty area, doing some good defending. It's Wright again. This is Jackson. Gareth Evans digs in well against Cleland, but is surrounded by blue jerseys, and it was Alan McLaren who got the ball out of play, while Cleland has taken a knock. And the referee, well, play is still going on. The referee is telling the player to leave the field. The Rangers physio had come in. Meanwhile, Darren Jackson goes down, and he's got the free kick. Well, really, the Rangers physio came running onto the field there while play was going on, which he had absolutely no right to do. That actually deflected the referee from what was going on, and now Hibs have got a free kick just outside the Rangers penalty area. Well, the Rangers physio could get a bit of a tongue lashing here from the referee. This is Jackson being challenged, surrounded there by Rangers players, and the referee, who was telling the physio and Cleland to get off the pitch, turned round just as Jackson toppled. So Cleland has recovered. There's no doubt the referee will have a word about that later on. But meanwhile, Hibernian have a chance to get themselves right back into this game. The minutes ticking away towards half-time. So it's Michael O'Neill and Darren Jackson hovering. It's played to O'Neill. Oh, that's a magnificent goal! Michael O'Neill gets his 14th goal of the season. What a mighty strike that was. And that's exactly what I was saying. Just minutes ago, Hibs would want to see much more of him in this game. It was played short by Darren Jackson, and Billy Thompson had absolutely no chance at all. A tremendous strike by the Hibernian midfielder.
That's a superb goal. He's been quiet today, Michael O'Neill, as we've mentioned before, but you know, that had to be hit well there. Under pressure, two defenders coming out to him, and it was struck beautifully, and Billy Thompson had a full dive, and he's a big man as well, and he was nowhere near it. A fantastic shot.
Rangers 1, Hibernian 1. A real quality goal. This is Pat McGinley. Playing it now to Gareth Evans. This is Miller. Farrell. Long one played through now by Milne. This is Jackson coming in. He just couldn't get anything on that one. Goff made a challenge, which was perhaps just enough to put him off. But that looked a real chance. It was Keith Wright who got the touchdown towards Jackson. Goff came across him. This is Mitchell for Hibs. It's off the head of Miller. Turned by McLaren to Stephen. That's Miller again. It's cut out by Farrell. So that should really get Hibs going now as they chase second place. Even a point for them this afternoon would see them go above Falkirk and still have a game in hand. And of course they're due to meet Falkirk next week at Easter Road. So a number of clubs still involved for the UEFA Cup spots. Motherwell, Falkirk, Hibs, Kilmarnock and Celtic pushing away. So just under 4 minutes of this first half left. 1 goal apiece. Tweed has moved forward, but McLaren jumps well. This is Jury. Jury showing tremendous appetite for this game, showing good pace here as well. Good control, still it's Jury. Playing it through now to Trevor Stephen onto the left foot. The ball's deflected. And behind for the corner, and the referee is calling over Michael O'Neill for his challenge there on Jury. That was a great run by the Rangers player, and he was nipped there as he went through. He still managed to retain possession.
A lot of power, a lot of pace as well, and I think, you know, quite rightly booked here. I think Michael O'Neill just tried to click his heels.
So it's Laudrup who swings in the corner, and it's Richard Goff who got in the header.
I think it was O'Neill as well who just got off the line, Jerry. Terrific jump by Goff there, powered in with the header there, and O'Neill just swung his left leg at it, and I don't know how he managed to hook it out, but he has.
So Laudrup with the corner again, in comes Goff. It's headed away by Mitchell, comes off Trevor Stephen. It's McLaren under severe pressure there from right. They kept a cool head. It's Murray who swings it back in. This is Durant, controls it well, sends in the cross. It's headed away by Keith Wright, who's back helping his defence. This is Cleland, now it's Durant. Well, the game going along at a fair old pace here in these closing minutes of the first half. It's McGinley switching the play. This is Willie Miller. Through for Keith Wright, who's closely watched by Richard Goff, and he's fouled by the Rangers skipper. Well, Goff arguing with the linesman, but I don't think there's any argument there at all. So here come Hibs again. Tweeds well forward, but McLaren's there. This is Laudrup. Again showing marvellous skills, a very tight situation. That's a great ball through towards Charlie Miller. Well, great control, great vision. The cross comes in looking for Haitley. Well, the ball cannoned off Andy Milne and eventually into the hands of Jim Leighton. Superb play there by Laudrup to Miller. He provided the cross. The ball came off the Hibernian defender. He didn't know much about it. And Jim Leighton, thankfully for Hibs, remained very calm indeed. So just over a minute of the first half left. 1 goal apiece. This is McLaren for Rangers. Cleland plays it through, looking for Haitley. Slack play by Willie Miller, but Durant has to settle for the throw-in. Played off by Laudrup, who pops up on this near side now. He was a bit slack with that one, but after what he's achieved in this first half, it's difficult to be critical. And that was a fantastic pass he hit just a moment or so ago through to Charlie Miller. Bit of slackness there by Murray as well, but still Rangers have it. Trevor Stephen under pressure from Keith Wright. It's McLaren. Played off by Trevor Stephen. This is Goff. Billy Thompson, who was born in Linwood, just a couple of miles down the road from here. He'll be enjoying being part of this Rangers setup so late in his career. He's now 37 years of age. Jim Leighton not far behind them, so shows you how far goalkeepers can go on in their careers. That's good play again by Rangers. This is Durant. Can Rangers take a half-time lead to the dressing room with him? He's well challenged. It's Miller. It's Laudrup. Laudrup again, flipping it through to Cleland. And trying to get for the line there, but he's well challenged by Andy Milne. Long one through now by Gareth Evans. Picked up by Darren Jackson. This is O'Neill, the Bernian goal scorer. He's popped up on the right-hand side now, cutting infield. He tried to pick out McGinley there, but it was Charlie Miller who intercepted. So we're well into stoppage time in this first half. It's Laudrup playing the early ball for Jury to chase. Again, Jury shows good pace, gets in there, ahead of Andy Milne. Still it's Jury. Durant's there in support. Laudrup's calling for it. It's cut out though by Willie Miller. Jury perhaps just a bit over-ambitious there. So over a minute of stoppage time played, and there goes the half-time whistle. Well, a highly entertaining first half. Rangers taking the lead after 24 minutes. It was Laudrup who swung in the ball. It came off the top of Hateley's head, and there was Jury to head the ball high past Jim Leighton. And then after 39 minutes, Michael O'Neill with a superb free kick. Darren Jackson played it short to him, and he hit an unstoppable shot past Billy Thompson. The half-time score here at Ibrox Stadium is Rangers 1, Hibernian 1.
So, the whole of the second half coming up, plus the half-time thoughts of Terry Butcher and Joe Harper after this short break. We'll be right back.
Across the road, he trying to flick it down. He has a chance for Ray, and it's a goal! Ray scores!
Yes, Gordon Ray there scoring for Hibs. It's 1-1 at Ibrox, Rangers 1, Hibs 1. Terry, what do you make of the first half?
Well, the funny about the first 20 minutes, it was pretty much like a Sunday afternoon kickabout, and wasn't much of a pace to the game. But you know, once Rangers got the goal, things really did seem to hot up. There wasn't many chances, wasn't many shots on target, shots on goal, and then all of a sudden this happened.
Yeah, it was a good goal, wasn't it, Joe?
Yeah, once again it's Brian Laudrup putting in an excellent cross into a very, very dangerous area. Mark Hateley was under pressure to get to the ball, flicks the ball on, and full marks to Gordon Jury. I mean, he has to react quickly, and goalkeeper's got no chance. Tremendous goal.
Good reaction header, wasn't it, Terry?
It was good, but there was about 3 Hibs defenders on the far post there. Obviously, Alec Miller will be a bit displeased with the Hibs defenders for not attacking the ball, because Mark flicks the ball on here. Here it comes across, and see Graham Mitchell's probably the nearest one, doesn't quite attack the ball because the ball's in that area. And Gordon Jury wasn't, I think Joe McNee said it was a simple task of putting that in the back of the net. Joe's a striker, that wasn't a simple header.
Well, so I was just going to say that. Terry, speaking as a defender, is worried more about the defensive side of it. I'm giving Gordon Jury the benefit of making a very, very good run and looking for that flick. That's what you do when you're a striker. You look for the possibility, where's the ball going to fall, where I can score, and Gordon Jury did it to perfection.
Yes, Jim Leighton, we mentioned before today's game, he's had a great season for Hibs, Joe, and he did well to deny Alan McLaren here.
Well, he's one of the all-time greats, Jim, and I mean, McLaren's through, he's got a clear shot at goal, but Jim stands his ground. That's what he's very good at, these type of incidents when a player is right through on him. He stands his ground so well, he doesn't commit himself until the very last second, and it's a tremendous save. I mean, it should really be in the net.
You know, we've gone on about Brian Laudrup all season, Terry. In fact, somebody phoned me up the other day, I think, to ask if I was having an affair with him, which I'm not, I can tell you. Great skill and a great cross for Hateley. Some player, isn't he?
Oh, he's a marvellous player. He just picks the ball up in dangerous areas here, and he just gets the ball. First thought, just try and take him on. Can he beat him? No. Can you check back again, and then pick the ball up to the far post. Great delivery. Unfortunately, the header didn't match the approach work, but it's just a positive attitude, and he just gets on the ball, and he's got the ability to weave left and right, go inside and outside. As a defender, you've got no chance.
I mean, you would have got the better of him in your day.
Well, I kicked him long before he got to the penalty area.
I think the great thing about it, I'm smiling watching that, is the defender's all over the place. He hasn't got a clue where Laudrup's gone to after he's turned him twice.
Yeah.
And it's sheer magic.
He does the impossible, and he keeps doing it.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I mean, his passes into the box are quality. You know, you never see him over hitting the ball. They're all quality crosses where that any forward has got a chance.
Good, okay, well, plenty to look forward to in the second 45, plus the Rangers Championship celebrations after the final whistle. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes from now.
Cowan sending it across, the chance is now on for PD. 1-0 to Hibs.
Stuart Beattie on target there for Hibs. The teams will be back out at Ibrox in a moment, where the half-time scoreline is Rangers 1, Hibs 1. Terry, you looked a bit beaten for pace there, didn't you?
Well, it was definitely a foul. I mean, Steve Cowan gave me a bit of a shove behind, and he was able to cross the ball for that goal. But it was definitely a foul. The referee, of course, never spotted him.
Of course. What about Michael O'Neill's goal today? Great equaliser, wasn't it, Joe?
Tremendous strike. I mean, the ball just pushed to the side of the wall. And I mean, I think when you've got a wall that close to goal, that's the thing you should do. Just put it to the side and let the guy have a strike. And the absolute great left foot, top corner, no chance for the goalkeeper. 1-1.
OK, let's now go back out to Ibrox and rejoin Jerry McNee.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to Ibrox Stadium. The match referee starts things off again. Rangers have been forced into another change. Alexei Mikhailichenko has come on for Gordon Jury, who suffered a hamstring injury towards half-time. So Rangers now have used up both their substitutions. And here's an early touch for Mikhailichenko. It's McGinley who gets it away. Of course, next season, teams will be allowed 3 outfield players off the bench, plus the goalkeeper, so it will certainly help managers. Here come Hibs now, and it's the goal scorer, Michael O'Neill, who hit that superb equaliser, free kick after 39 minutes, equalising Jury's goal. So Gordon Smith alongside me this afternoon. No real great change for Rangers because of the loss of Jury.
No, he had a very good first half, Jury, it's got to be said. He scored an excellent goal and had some good runs as well, but you know, probably Walter Smith was going to give Mikhailichenko a run at some stage in the game today. He's been out for some time, and he's not had much action this season, but he's a very good player, and a gala day like today, when they're knocking the ball about, it should suit him just fine.
So it's the man from the Ukraine just leaving that one to Alec Cleland. He doesn't like to exert himself, Alexei Mikhailichenko. This is Trevor Stephen. Certainly the way Trevor Stephen's been playing this last few weeks, I'm quite sure Walter Smith will be keen to keep him here. The player himself will be keen to stay. This is Graham Mitchell for Hibernian, but it's given away. Picked up by Trevor Stephen, looking for Haitley. Well, Laudrup's tucked in just behind Haitley at the moment, trying to give him support, but it's going to be a long, difficult second half again for Mark Haitley. Ran himself into the ground against Aberdeen in similar circumstances last week. He's still trying to regain his match fitness. That's a very late challenge by McGinley on Stephen. And the referee is calling over the Hibs player. It'll be interesting to see what action is taken here. Trevor Stephen is in agony in the ground just below us. McGinley pleads his case, and a yellow card is shown, and he goes over to apologise.
That was a late challenge there. Stephen just getting the ball away, and it was studs right into his knee, and that can be quite a sore one. You know, Pat McGinley, you know, can consider himself lucky maybe only to get a yellow card there, because you know, that is it's definitely a bad tackle.
Looking on there, Martin Ferguson beside him, brother of Alec Ferguson, Jockey Scott, the Hibs management team. So Trevor Stephen appears to have recovered. The Hyman's hoisted in towards Haitley. It's away by Tweed. This is McGinley, who's back in the thick of the action, and getting the treatment now from this huge crowd. But he wins the throw-in through his determination. Alan McLaren hoisting that one high into the stand. Well, he's really settled into the Rangers side now. He had a little bit of a form dip, but in recent games is right back to the type of player that Rangers paid 1.2 million for from Hearts. This is Willie Miller sending it in. It's headed away by Goff. It's Tweed for Hibs. Away by Neil Murray. This is Trevor Stephen. The ball's picked up now by Durant. And he's caught there by Keith Wright. Another free kick to Rangers. Well, I know from downstairs at half-time, the Rangers management team are not at all happy with the refereeing performance of Willie Young this afternoon. There were some harsh words spoken. They were unhappy about the use of an arm by David Farrell earlier in the game, and also the free kick that led to Hibs' equaliser. But one goal apiece it is, with just over 50 minutes played. Well, Tweed's under pressure here from Mikhailichenko, but gets it away. That's Keith Wright with a header. It's cut out by Trevor Stephen, laid off by McLaren. This is Goff. Stephen again. Murray. That's McLaren. Across to Cleland. Mikhailichenko. Rangers content to knock it about. It's Trevor Stephen. Mikhailichenko again. Well, he anticipated the run being continued there by Cleland, but Cleland had pulled up. And it's Hibs in possession now through Stephen Tweed. Looking for Jackson. He gets in there just ahead of McLaren. It's cleared there by Cleland. Picked up by Charlie Miller. Promptly given away to David Farrell. Now it's O'Neill. Mitchell's run forward. It's played through in his direction. McGinley gets a touch. Mitchell's in there, but Murray gets it away to Stephen. It is Cleland. Alexei Mikhailichenko. Nice little feint by him. Well, just too much for Richard Goff, and the bullying legs of Neil Murray oblige. This is Durant. Cleland's a bit of space. Here's Cleland. Mikhailichenko. Trevor Stephen starts a run. Doesn't give her any real support inside the area. Jim Leighton there, who now has a record 63 caps. Played was in the squad in Mexico 86 and Italia 90. A couple of World Cups under his belt, and having an excellent season with Hibs. In fact, I'm led to believe he's the only player who's really challenging Laudrup for the Player of the Year awards, which will be announced shortly. This is McGinley. So this Ibrox crowd and full cry again, enjoying their carnival afternoon. Rangers, of course, also won the title in '87, so they've won it 8 times in the last 9 seasons. This is Michael O'Neill. Hibs still battling hard here for the points that can take them into European football next season. What a boost that would be for them. They're building new stands now at Easter Road, and it'd be nice to see the big crowds back there and some top-class football to go with it. The ball was just kept in play there by Mitchell. It's away by Goff. Picked up now by Trevor Stephen. This is Durant. Stephen again. Mikhailichenko is on the far side. It's played to Cleland.
He tries to pick out Mikhailichenko, but he was caught there by Gareth Evans. The play getting just a bit untidy. The Rangers have it again. It was Willie Miller who gave it away. It's Mikhailichenko through to Hateley. Mikhailichenko kept his run going, perhaps in the hope that Hateley would provide a cross, but he decided to have a blast. Mikhailichenko coming through there. Hateley going in the run. Mikhailichenko kept going. Hateley on that favoured left foot of his, having a blast.
Yeah, it would have been a surprise though if Mark Hateley had scored from that angle. And it was really only Mikhailichenko who had actually made a run into the box. Rangers are sending surprisingly few people forward in this second half in order to get another goal. And I'm quite surprised that Walter Smith's allowing this to happen. I think he'd want his team to go out and get a winner.
It said Jackson playing that one through, but the offside flag is up against Keith Wright. And it's Rangers now on the counter-attack. It's Laudrup. A real run here, but he's blocked eventually by Andy Milne. Mikhailichenko sends a high upward ball over, and that's well taken by Jim Leighton. He was under some real pressure there. So it was Laudrup with a little back heel flick to Mikhailichenko. And it was a difficult one for the goalkeeper, but he kept his eyes firmly on the ball. Out of play by Cleland for the throw to Hibernian. It's being left to Andy Milne. That's a free kick against McLaren. There was a little push by him there, and Keith Wright. Wright actually won the ball, but there was a clear push by the Rangers defender, and the referee immediately awarded the free kick. So perhaps a chance here for Hibs to snatch the lead. So if we could leave here today with the 3 points, we'd be a very happy team indeed. Not an easy environment to come into this afternoon. So it's O'Neill who fires it in, and well held by Billy Thompson as Stephen Tweed came in. Darren Jackson was there also. The goalkeeper committing himself and taking the ball cleanly. This is Murray. Stephen back to Goff. Well, absolute bedlam here now as the Rangers fans celebrate. This is Trevor Stephen. That's Goff, shot to McLaren. Mikhailichenko's caught. Well, Rangers being just a bit too clever. It's Hibs coming through now, the chance on here, but the offside flag is up. Well, the offside flag had gone up well before Darren Jackson struck the ball, but he hit it way over the target in any case. But really, that was not a good decision at all. But in any case, the ball was blasted wide of the target. So still Rangers 1, Hibernian 1.
Rangers been a bit too elaborate there at the back, knocking the ball about in dangerous areas, and Hibs, as soon as they won it, got behind them. And if Dan Jackson just timed his run a little bit better, he may have got in there onside. But Rangers are playing everything in front of Hibs at the moment, and whereas in the first half they were getting in behind their midfield all the time. So it's not an impressive performance so far in this second half from Rangers.
And they have, of course, had to commit both the substitutes because of injury, so no further options open to Walter Smith. So Rangers fans urging on the team. This is Hateley, but he's not going to beat an experienced goalkeeper like Jim Leighton with an effort like that. In fairness to Mark Hateley, he's still struggling to regain his match fitness. This is only his second game back, and he was rushed into things a bit last week because of the injury situation here at Ibrox. This is O'Neill showing some pace against Murray. A little stumble by the Hibs player, but he does well to retain possession. Gets in the cross, it's headed down by Richard Goff. This is Durant deep inside his own half. Sloppy play by him. He gets another bite at it. He's caught again, though, this time by Mitchell. Well, Rangers could pay the penalty here. There's been a fair bit of slackness. This is Mitchell going for the line. And the ball drifts behind for the goal kick.
He's had a good game today, Graham Mitchell. Worked very hard on that left-hand side. A bit of a torrid time in the first half with so many players coming at him. Laudrup, Jury, but he's working well. Actually knocks out the dugout there. He shouted to Mikalichenko. He's trying to get him to come in off the side a little bit, helping that midfield area. He's a little bit exposed out there. He likes to stand out there, wait for the ball. But Jury was doing a good job in the wide area in the first half by getting himself involved in the game, coming back and winning the ball for them as well.
So the ball goes off the head of Hateley. It's played through by Cleland. It's Milne who gets it away. Farrell was struggling there. And Durant also. Durant trying to squeeze the ball through to Laudrup, and Durant's taking a hefty knock now. But he gets back to his feet. Play on, says the referee. It's Wright's header. Cleland gets a touch. Now it's Trevor Stephen. Rangers desperate to get a victory here this afternoon, and so too are Hibs. So the Rangers fans doing their best to lift the team here. It's Laudrup. Laudrup twisting and turning again. Finding Trevor Stephen. This is Durant providing a cross. In comes Hateley. And it was Willie Miller, I think, who got the vital touch there. They climbed for that ball along with Andy Milne. Well, the Rangers fans are certainly playing their part. It's driven through now by Trevor Stephen. And comfortably taken by Jim Leighton. Well, Jim Leighton made a penalty save here against Celtic in the cup semi-final, but he could do nothing in the replay. This is Durant trying to get forward, surrounded by Hibs players. He loses out to Keith Wright, who tries to pick out Darren Jackson. It's Goff, though, who steps in for Rangers. This is Miller, Trevor Stephen, Laudrup. He's got Mikalichenko wide. Miller starts a run. Plays it short to Trevor Stephen. Play on, says the referee. Trevor Stephen challenged there by Keith Wright. It's Hibs now in the counter-attack. It's O'Neill. Mitchell runs in support. O'Neill cuts inside. It's played through towards Gareth Evans. It's not a good ball, though. Easily cut out by Cleland. Now it's Mikalichenko. Through to Charlie Miller. Cleland's kept his run going. Miller goes with him. This is Mikalichenko. Laudrup's in a fair bit of space here. It's Laudrup. It's Mikalichenko. It's a fantastic save by Jim Leighton. Well, the Dane and the Ukrainian combined there. Mikalichenko got in the shot, and Jim Leighton made a splendid save to keep Hibs in this match. But again, the Rangers fans creating absolute bedlam. Laudrup got himself a fair bit of space inside the box. There's Leighton shouting to Mitchell to get the ball clear. Hateley comes in now. It's Tweed who gets a touch. Charlie Miller's battling for it. It breaks to Ian Durant. Well, what a chance that was for Rangers a moment or two ago. The ball was played through to Mikalichenko. He found Laudrup. It looked as though Laudrup might have a shot. He cut it back to Mikalichenko. He steadied himself, and Jim Leighton again stood his ground. He did brilliantly, and Hibs got the ball to safety.
Just tremendous reactions from Jim Leighton. I mean, so unselfish, Laudrup. He was put in a position really where normally a player would go and finish and have a strike himself. But he cut it back into Mikalichenko's path, giving him the opportunity to score. And really, he couldn't have done much better. He struck it as hard as he could. And you know, Leighton is so good in those situations. His reactions are tremendous.
So still one goal apiece here at Ibrox Stadium. Pat McGinley appears to have taken a knock, but he's all right now. And it's Rangers coming forward again, picking up the pace of the game. It's Charlie Miller trying to go all the way himself. There's claims for a handball there against the Rangers midfielder as he toppled, but the referee trying to keep the play flowing as much as possible. It's laid off by Trevor Stephen. That's McLaren playing it wide now. McClellan through to Laudrup, who's over on the far side now. Mikhailichenko starts a run. Still it's Laudrup. Again, twisting and turning, showing great skills, trying to loft the ball into the middle there. And he wins the corner kick. Well, the Rangers fans in the Copeland Road stand doing their famous bow to Laudrup. Here he comes again, providing the cross. It's Pat McGinley who gets the touch just ahead of Haitley. So Hibs are contemplating a change, I'm told, and Kevin McAllister is warming up just below us. This is O'Neill, but just running out of steam, running out of space. So Alec Miller is getting ready to make that change. The match continues. It's Haitley who's come deep. The referee getting caught up in the maelstrom. This is Farrell with a harmless ball through to Billy Thompson.
Yeah, I think they'll probably bring McAllister on the right-hand side. Jerry take off Gareth Evans. Evans is said not as comfortable in that position. He's done a lot of work out there today. He's having a hard job as well now that Mikhailichenko is playing out there, but it was probably the time to bring on a fresh pair of legs out on that side of the field.
It's Mitchell's header. This is O'Neill. Gareth Evans is a player who really is very effective coming off the bench, and I haven't seen as much of him today as we might have expected, but there might be a last hurrah from him here if he is the man going off, but it's Richard Gough who gets it away. It's laid off by Mikhailichenko. Picked up by McLaren. Mikhailichenko again. The break's on here. It's 3 against 3. Haitley goes wide left. Laudrup's breaking through the right-hand side. Mikhailichenko keeps his run going. Oh, and Leighton has to hook the ball behind for the corner kick. Well, Mitchell tried to clear, and then his goalkeeper came to the rescue. It was Haitley who swung in the cross. It landed in between the goalkeeper and the defender. It was an awkward moment, but Leighton got it away. And Hibs now about to make that change. Gareth Evans is the man leaving the field. And Kevin McAllister, the man who was bought from Falkirk for $235,000, comes on to the field. Former Chelsea player as well, now 32 years of age, but still a pacey and tricky player. So the corner to Rangers, it's Durant who delivers it. Gough's up there with the downward header. Well, Gough did the right thing there. He rose high. He got in the downward header, which is always a difficult one for the goalkeeper. Durant swinging in the ball, Gough climbing high, the downward header there. Charlie Miller might have got a touch, but again, Leighton did well.
Yeah, Leighton must have been put off a little bit by the fact that Miller was in front of him. Still did well to parry the shot. Gough's had a really good game today. He's been unlucky not to score on a couple of occasions now, but even everything he's done at the back, he's been very, very safe, and his defensive headers have been tremendous, always picking out a teammate.
This is Laudrup going in the outside of O'Neill. We heard him praising him in an interview the other day. He takes him on there and shows him a clean pair of heels, and that results in a corner kick to Rangers. Now Hibs starting to feel the pressure here a bit. Rangers seem to have gone into a bit of a dip in the earlier stages of the second half, but the crowd started to lift them, and they're starting to apply pressure now to Jim Leighton and his defenders. So it's Durant with the corner. Gough's up there again. Hibs trying to get it away, and they have to concede another corner kick. Now Richard Gough causing a lot of problems from the set pieces. He's just got the one goal this season. Corner comes in again, but it's an easy one this time for Jim Leighton. Jim Leighton will be 37 in July. I mentioned earlier Billy Thompson has reached the same grand age, combined age of 74 for the keepers this afternoon. And 70 caps between them as well. 63 for Leighton, and Billy Thompson in his days at Dundee United, picking up 7 Scotland caps. course, it would be remiss of us not to mention Forfar this afternoon, who are other champions this weekend in the 3rd Division. Well done to them. And my old mother's up there visiting this weekend, so hi Mum. Here come Rangers. It's Laudrup. And he wins the throw-in. This is Laudrup. Oh, brilliant play again. He takes 2 defenders out of the game. It's Durant. It's Hateley. And it's another corner. Leighton gets his hands to the ball and knocks it behind for the corner kick. But look at this pass. In between the 2 defenders to Ian Durant. Another piece of brilliance from Laudrup. And Leighton makes a save. It's a corner kick. Hateley's in the middle waiting for it. But again, Leighton gathers it comfortably. He must just be an absolute nightmare to play against.
Yeah, I'm enjoyed to play with him, sure though, because he's got such great vision. His disguise of everything is tremendous as well. You never know exactly what he's going to do, and obviously defenders don't either, but he's in so much control of things and he sees what's happening in front of him. Just an absolute joy to watch, and you know, he's always entertaining. Every game we've seen him this season, he does little things that just make it worthwhile to be there to see him.
Well, never mind the championship medal. I think he's qualified for the Magic Circle after what he's achieved here this season. And this is Tweed being challenged by Hateley. That's a free kick against the Rangers striker. While Darren Jackson is limping heavily after the challenge was made on him just a moment or so ago. This is Wright going in for the ball, but Goff's there. It breaks out to Farrell. It's Farrell again. McLaren gets in a foot. Still Hibs have it. Here's the substitute McAllister. Can he conjure up something here? He takes it wide of Cleland, gets in the cross, and it's Trevor Stephen who knocks it behind for the corner kick to Hibernian. So still 1 goal apiece here. A chance for Hibs to take the lead. And that must not be forgotten this afternoon amid these championship celebrations that Hibernian have their eyes set on a UEFA Cup place. A high ball comes in, and McLaren it is who heads it behind for another corner. Miller, the Hibs manager just below, is looking very animated indeed. He's well charged up for this game. He was in a very determined mood when I spoke to him just before kick-off. So it's O'Neill who plays it short to Darren Jackson. That ball has drifted behind for the goal kick. Richie Knox, another shot with an instruction or two. And I know Ian Walter Smith, from speaking to them in recent days, look to finish with a flourish. There are just 2 more home games to come here at Ibrox against Motherwell on the 29th of this month, then Partick Thistle on the 15th of May. But of course, Scott Nisbet's testimonial's coming up as well on May the 1st. A player whose career was ended by injury, so there'll be a full house for that. But here comes Laudrup again, going for the line, getting an excellent cross. And it's another corner to Rangers. Walter Smith, meanwhile, has come down to the dugout. And it's a great shot to Laudrup. Again, he tries to create the opening onto the left foot this time. It's Mitchell who gets the touch. It's headed down by Goff. This is Murray. Cleland. Goff still well forward. It's Mikhailichenko. And Goff's kept that ball in play. Laudrup hits the early cross. That was Charlie Miller who tried to get a touch to it there. But Hibs have it now. And get it away from the danger area. This is Keith Wright. The referee steps in. The flag had gone up. It's a free kick to Rangers. This is Durant. Stephen. Laudrup. Plays it through to Durant, takes a return. Another early cross, but there's no one there except Stephen Tweed. And he gets it away to safety again.
It's a great ball, Jerry. I mean, he's entitled to expect Mark Hateley to be attacking that. I looked immediately for Hateley, and he was actually on the edge of the box, not anticipating such a good ball coming in.
And that's one thing Hateley had struck about a good understanding earlier in the season. He was making a lot of near post runs for balls from Loudrup and getting into those far post areas. And of course, again, he has been out injured. It'll take a while again to get going full time. And it was another one played in that general direction. And the crowd getting just a bit frustrated. Rangers pushing hard here for the winner, but they also have to be mindful of Hibs' ability to hit on the break. And that's slack play. And this is O'Neill, and McAllister is racing through just ahead of him. McAllister peels off to the right-hand side now. It's played into McGinley. Darren Jackson, this is a good play by Hibs, but the final pass there from Keith Wright saw it all break down. And that's a free kick against Darren Jackson, who says, "Who, me?" The referee says yes.
A good move by Hibs though, Jerry. I mean, they would have been in if it hadn't been for the good work with Durant, and I see Richard Gough just patting him on the head. He appreciates the running he did there to stop that move going through.
This is Durant. Switch of play out to Loudrup. He glides away from McGinley, glides away from O'Neill. Trevor Stephen is out on the right-hand side. He plays it through there for Charlie Miller. It's Mark Hateley, and brilliant play by Jim Leighton. A great double save there by Jim Leighton. Well, Leighton thwarted Charlie Miller. It looked certain that Hateley would score, and the goalkeeper managed to claw the ball away again. And that's Hibs in possession. Well, Jim Leighton has made some excellent saves here this afternoon, and that's why Hibs are still very much in this match. Here's the man who scored the equaliser for them, Michael O'Neill. He plays it into McAllister. This is McGinley. Goes down by Mikhailchenko. It's Farrell with the shot. And watched there by Billy Thompson. Let's have another look at those Rangers' chances at the other end. Loudrup again in a great run. He moved away from a couple of defenders. Leighton did ever so well against Charlie Miller. It looked as though Hateley would score, and Leighton did well.
Very brave as well, Jerry, getting in there, because I mean, Loudrup, fantastic work again, absolutely superbly picked out Charlie Miller with that reverse ball, and Leighton very brave to get out there and make this catch.
Tweed gets in just ahead of Durant. This is McGinley. Now it's Trevor Stephen for Rangers. This is Charlie Miller. Hateley. Ball falls behind Cleland. They have to double back. That's Murray. Stephen. Stephen clips it through looking for Hateley. Well, there's some activity on the Hibs bench. Below is Joe Tortolano. He's getting ready to come on. So Miller will want to be as positive as possible. He'll maybe take off a defender and try and be a bit more positive, but we'll see just in a moment. There might be one of the front players who's taken a knock. Certainly activity down there below us. This is Willie Miller. Ball goes through to McAllister. This is Farrell. Now it's Durant for Rangers. This is Trevor Stephen. Mikhailchenko's wide. Charlie Miller. Stephen again. McLaren. Crowd getting impatient here. They want to see more goals. It's played through now to Loudrup. He keeps that one in play. He did very well there. This is Trevor Stephen. Well, Durant just overhit his pass towards Loudrup, but he still managed to get in the cross. This is O'Neill. Right, goes on a run with Richard Gough, and the Rangers skipper gets in just ahead of him. Joe Tortolano waiting to come on. And that's McLaren sliding in. Check of the watch there from Miller. I'm sure he won't be unhappy with a point this afternoon, but he'd much rather have the three. And if Hibs keep having a go, that's more than a possibility. This is McAllister, twisting and turning, showing marvellous skills of his own. And it was Cleland who got the vital touch there. That's Trevor Stephen. Laudrup. Charlie Miller, who dropped deep, getting that one forward to Murray. He picks out Mikhailichenko. Rangers starting to pour players forward. Mikhailichenko now trying to switch the play. Good ball to Laudrup, brilliantly killed by him. Plays it through now, looking for Murray. Hibs scrambling away. This is Cleland. Mikhailichenko. Oh, great play by him. So it's Mikhailichenko. It's Cleland. Murray tries a shot. Hibs scrambling away. So just over 10 minutes left. Rangers 1, Hibernian 1. It's Richard Gough playing a long ball through, but to no great avail. It's picked up now by Kevin McAllister. Sandy Milne looking for Keith Wright. Gough's there though. He's kept a very close watch on Keith Wright all afternoon. He's had a good game, Richard Gough. He's marked the Hibernian striker well. This is Cleland. McLaren switches the play to Laudrup. Touch now to Murray. Poor ball. It's Farrell for Hibernian. This is O'Neill. Goes down by Murray. It's Mitchell. Hibs ball. Hibs about to make that change now. Alec Miller trying to catch the referee's attention. Still play goes on. This is Charlie Miller to Cleland. Mikhailichenko, Durant, Laudrup. Laudrup away from O'Neill, now he's taking on Mitchell, still it's Laudrup, flipping the ball over and well taken by Leighton. More marvellous skills from the Danish international player.
Tremendous again, he takes on two players one at a time, he just waits for them to make their challenge and then goes, skips past them, and very unlucky not to chip it over Leighton.
Now it's Hibs coming forward. A chance on for Wright. Well, it was Jackson who knocked the ball into the middle, and that will be Wright's last moment in this particular game. He's the man to be replaced. Well, he hasn't had much change out of Richard Gough.
Looks like they put O'Neill, I think, up front alongside Jackson now, and Wright coming off, and Tortolano just sits in that left-hand side.
So Joe Tortolano in his 10th season at Hibernian, former West Bromwich player. He was down there in the mid-80s. So you can see O'Neill in his central role there. And he's challenged by McLaren. This is Durant. Trevor Stephen. He's caught there by Tortolano. And Trevor Stephen still on the ground as play goes on. Hibs chasing a winner here. Still the Rangers players on the ground. Still play goes on. It's O'Neill. Onto the left foot, driving it through. And not far away. Well, almost a second goal for Michael O'Neill. The left foot drive. And it certainly had Billy Thompson scrambling across his goal line. He will certainly come more and more into the match as Michael O'Neill.
The Rangers seemed to lose concentration there after injury to Stephen, and I think they were wanting the game to be stopped, but O'Neill didn't stop, and he took his men on, got himself into on his left side, where he's very strong. We saw from the free kick in the first half. And unlucky, I think he just caught it maybe with the outside of his left foot there, Jerry, just tended to swerve it away from goal, but if he'd been on target, I don't think Thompson would have got it.
And the referee absolutely right there, because he's only obliged really to stop the game if the player's taking a head knock. But
And it was a fair challenge as well. I mean, it wasn't a foul at all. He got back and made a good tackle on him in there, and he just slipped it away, and he must have fell awkwardly, because it certainly wasn't a free kick.
So he's been in the wars a bit, Brother Stephen, this afternoon. But back up for more. But you get the feeling, as time goes on, that Hibs are more than capable of grabbing something here. But as long as they keep the shackles on Laudrup, and that's no easy matter, but they can certainly carry a threat towards the Rangers goal. So this is Trevor Stephen, Goff, and it's Murray, Laudrup, off on his travels again, until he'll flick to Mikhailichenko. So Mikhailichenko battles for it, but too many green jerseys around him. This is Farrell. Tortolano. Mitchell runs in support. Nicely flipped forward there by Tortolano. This is Mitchell. Darren Jackson. Farrell. No, plays it to Tweed. Steps Richard Goff. Play Stephen. And Michael O'Neill is being called over by the referee. Well, he says he went for the ball, but the referee is saying there's been persistent fouling by the Hibernian player. O'Neill's name goes into the book. And here come Rangers through Charlie Miller. This is Durant. So just under 4 minutes left. 1 goal apiece. This is Durant. Great play by Ian Durant. A marvellous goal by Ian Durant. It's Rangers 2, Hibernian 1. Delightful play. Ian Durant played the ball through to Charlie Miller, ran onto the return pass, picked his spot beyond Jim Leighton. Great play by the two midfielders, and it's 2-1 to Rangers.
It's all about the weight of pass here from Charlie Miller. Terrific run by Ian Durant. He knows where he wants the ball, but look at that touch from Miller, softly into his pass, timing of the run, and the finish superb. A great goal from Rangers.
Well, tremendous climax to this Bell's Premier Division match. Durant playing it into Charlie Miller, and a fine goal to cap another championship for Rangers. Well, we've had some quality goals here this afternoon, no doubt about that. And what a season it's been for Charlie Miller. What a tremendous find he's been. I remember seeing him take part in a youth tournament in Northern Ireland a few years ago. He'd been mentioned to me several times by the Rangers ground staff. And he really has come on a ton. There's a little fright there for Billy Thompson, but he responds well. But in this era when Rangers are spending so much money on so many players, it's tremendous to see youngsters still breaking through. And here comes Laudrup now. Rangers going in for the kill. It's Laudrup again, finding Mikhailichenko. Laudrup runs on the outside of him, still it's Mikhailichenko! Oh, it's magnificent! A quite sensational goal from Alexei Mikhailichenko. It's Rangers 3, Hibernian 1. Just look at the skill of Mikhailichenko. He sold the little dummy there. Laudrup had taken defenders with him, and he drove the ball past Jim Leighton.
Great ability, lovely balance, and what a finish at the end of it, because it's not an easy one to hit there. It's under his feet, but he pokes it away, hammers it with his instep away into the far corner there. But it was lovely to watch. Look at that, onto his left foot. Farrell coming in. Carl just trying to stop fouling him actually, but Mikhailchenko beat him beautifully there. Hibs lost their composure totally at the back there. No cover at all, but a great finish from Mikhailchenko.
Well, that was Alexei Mikhailchenko's first goal of the season. It was certainly worth waiting for. Here come Rangers again. They're in irresistible form now, knocking the ball about. It's a handball by Ian Durant, and in different circumstances he might have been shown a yellow card there. But the referee decides to let him away with it. Well, McLaren now sweeps the ball out of play. Well, what a swell party this has been.
And a gradual step up, Jerry, as the second half's gone on. Rangers, they've just got better and better. Started very quietly in the second half, looked as if they were settling for a draw at one point, but as the game's gone on, they get stronger and stronger. I mean, Laudrup, Mikhailchenko, people like Durant as well, and Charlie Miller in the midfield, Trevor Stephen, all willing to get on the ball and make passes. They've created quite a few chances in this second half, and I think, you know, deserved winners now.
So we're now into stoppage time. Rangers leading by 3 goals to 1. This is Tortolano. Well, there's absolute bedlam here. This is Jackson. It's all about consolation for Hibs now. And there goes the final whistle. Rangers win by 3 goals to 1. Let's go back to Jim White in the studio.
What a finish. That's it for the moment from Ibrox. We'll be going back there and we'll be getting the thoughts of Joe Harper and Terry Butcher in just a couple of minutes from now. We'll be right back.
Flipping it forward. And Bill Gordon has scored for Rangers.
Yes, Dale Gordon scoring there for Rangers. Well, the championship party is well underway over at Ibrox. Let's rejoin Jerry out there. Jerry.
Thanks, Jim. Well, absolute bedlam here. Rangers have won their 45th Scottish title, their 7th Premier title in a row, their 8th in 9 years, and the celebrations are really underway. The players just about to emerge from the tunnel after a short break for them. Richard Gough there, who picks up his 7th championship medal in 8 years here at Ibrox Stadium. And what a day for Walter Smith as well. His 4th season as manager in his own right, and 4 titles for him. But the fans really enjoying themselves. And a proud day for the Rangers skipper, Trevor Stephen there, who scored a championship winner, of course, at Tannadice a few years ago. What a day for Billy Thompson also. And Alexei Mikhailchenko, who scored that marvellous third goal in the closing minutes. Ian Ferguson there in the background, who has suffered injury this season, but also played his part. So here they come to a huge ovation, led by Richard Gough. And just listen to this then. Well, Rangers' very first championship win way back in 1891 was shared with Dumbarton. They won the old First Division a record 35 times. And now they hold a record of 10 for the Premier Division. Rangers won the last of the old First Division titles back in '75 to prevent Celtic winning 10 in a row, and then Rangers themselves won the first of the Premier titles the following year in 1976. That was a treble-winning year, and the man alongside me, Gordon Smith, took part in a treble-winning year just a couple of years later. You know what these days are like, Gordon.
Yeah, the cup finals are great to play in, Jerry, because they're a one-up of day, but This is a league championship. This is a measure of the fact that you're the best team in the country, and it's a marvellous feeling to win it and go round in front of your own supporters here and collect the accolades. And I remember myself being there, and it's a very, very proud moment for any player. Even somebody like Richard Gough, as you mentioned there, is like it's his 7th or 8th championship at the club. Fantastic record he's got. He's been captain for most of them. But you know, this will mean as much to them as any of the rest, because they've done it in a very, very convincing manner.
Well, there's Basil Bully. Well, the smart money says that he'll be leaving over the next few weeks, but he's still taking part in the celebrations, and he's played a fair number of the matches this season, enjoying himself out there with Ian Ferguson. Well, Walter Smith, who's enjoying these proceedings, was appointed assistant Rangers manager 9 years ago this very weekend, and it was 4 years ago this very day that Graham Souness decided to quit Rangers, and Walter Smith stepped into the hot seat. Walter just below us there being interviewed, Archie Knox here as well. But it really is a day for the players, and Ian Durant there enjoying himself. Stuart McCall, who was ever present until the game against Aberdeen last week, what a major part he played in the season. Andy Gorham there as well, and he's hoping, as I said earlier, to come back within a couple of weeks. So the Rangers players moving round now towards the Broomloan stand. The applause rings out all around the ground, and the main stand there in the background.
It's very significant as well, Jerry. John Brown is down beside Walter Smith, Archie Knox and Davy Dodds, and not doing a lap of one of the players. Maybe that's a sign that he's going with the coaching staff next season.
Well, Jim Dillahunt is below us now with the Rangers manager, Walter Smith.
Walter, sign on the road, does it feel just as good as the last 6?
Certainly is. Absolutely terrific it feels, and a lot of people outside Rangers and front underestimate it now, but they have done the selling, but I feel the reaction after the table to do is really, really good.
In terms of today, Walter, it looks for a long time as if you were going to settle for a draw, but great to go out in a victory.
And I thought we played really well in the game today. Created a lot of chances, and only a few terrific saves from Jim Leighton that kept us at 1-1. But the 2 goals near the end there, I felt we thoroughly deserved, and 2 terrific goals, and a great way to finish today.
You got on with the celebration.
Well, the Rangers players entering into the spirit of the occasion. Mark Hateley picking up some scarves. Again, another player who's played a major part, and there's Basil Bully again. Gordon Jury. So the music booms out around Ibrox.
As a young player there, Jerry, like Charlie Miller, you just wonder how many league championships he'll be celebrating in his career before he's finished, because to do it at age 18, 19, absolutely fantastic. And not only just to be part of it, he's played a major role, and even up to today when he laid on a goal again for Ian Durant. A tremendous first season as a first team player, and a great career ahead of him, both as a club player and international as well.
Well, warm handshakes here between Richard Gough and Walter Smith, 2 men with a great mutual respect. The players now go into the centre circle with their management team to take a final salute from this capacity crowd. It really has been a marvellous afternoon's entertainment. So 9 glorious years for Walter Smith at Ibrox. This party will go on for some considerable time yet. In the meantime, back to Jim in the studio.
Thanks, Jerry. What about Basil's blue wig? Not bad, Terry. Quite suited it, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a time for celebrations. I mean, I've worn some stupid hats in my time, and I didn't quite wear a blue wig, but I think it's a time. It's not so much if Rangers win the championship, it's when they win it now. You can see by the players' reaction. When we won it, it was a case of grabbing all the hats and scarves and making the most of it and everything else. But the Rangers players know really that they are going to win the championship every year. Just a case of what date can they seal it up. So from their point of view, it's just a case of, well, not going overboard with the celebrations.
Well, I tell you what, they did it in style this afternoon, Joe, did they not? A fantastic second goal from Ian Durrant in the second half.
Yeah, but I think it was the whole performance. I think it was a real quality performance today, and I can't emphasise how good this man Laudrup is. Oh. But that, we were talking about that, and Terry made a great point. You know, we're talking about that goal. It was two Scottish players, two young players who made the goal. If that had happened in Italy, we'd have been raving about it, saying, you know, the 1-2, the great finish. I mean, you can't talk about it enough.
Fantastic finish from Durrant. He picked up a knock, but he was pretty brave to take the tap back from Miller.
Well, one of the things that I said at the time was, I think that is a thing that they've learned off Laudrup. You know, running at a defence, looking for the short ball into the heart of the defence and going for the 1-2. And again, we talk about Laudrup, but this boy Charlie Miller's going to be a great player as well. A great player.
It's been a wilderness season, if you like, for Mikhailchenko, and he comes back in today, Terry, and scored a great goal.
Yes, he didn't have much time really on the pitch, but as he comes inside a defender there onto his favourite left foot, and just like in the semi-final, the ball goes between Stephen Tweed's legs and inside Jim Leighton's left-hand post. Great camera angle here, sidesteps onto his left foot. It's one thing, low, hit, obviously on the target. I mean, it's great play, good play by Laudrup to set it up, but into the box. A great finish.
They raised the game when they had to, didn't they, Joe?
Yeah. I think they wanted to go out on a winning note, and they, you know, I think it was fitting if you're going to win the championship, but that was the way to do it today.
Yes,
to send their fans into hysteria. But you know, again, when we go back to the Laudrup guy, there was a defensive situation earlier on when the defender actually showed him where he wanted him to go.
Yeah.
Laudrup went there and still beat him. It's just unbelievable.
And the party goes on. What can these guys achieve now, Terry?
Well, they've got the platform obviously for next year. It's really a case of hopefully looking forward to the Champions League, looking forward to a good run in Europe. I think that's uppermost in their minds. But they want to get the 10 in a row. They want to maintain this dominance of Scottish football that they have, and you know, it's up to them to follow the same standards that they've set in the previous years.
And they certainly did it today. Rangers 3, Hibernian 1. Great scenes there at Ibrox. And that's it from Scott Sport for today. But the live action continues on Scottish on Wednesday night in the Champions League with AC Milan against Paris Saint-Germain. And then on Thursday it's Sampdoria Arsenal in the Cup Winners' Cup. We're back on Scottish next Sunday at 2 with the beautiful game. And a programme no Aberdeen or Dundee United fan can afford to miss. It's the new firm and the glory days of those two great clubs. In the meantime, Rangers are champions. And from Joe, Terry and myself, it's been some afternoon. 3-1 Rangers over at Ibrox. From us all, bye for now.